Buongiorno, I guess I'm live. I'm coming to you live from Florence in Italy. My name is Betty Soldi and I am a calligrapher and a graphic designer and an all-round creator, I would say. We've all had to create our own existence these last few years, a little bit more than we ever had, or at least look into what makes us create our days and our lives and the difference between work and life. And I think as a creative we're so lucky because there really is no distinction. There is no I'm clocking out and I will be back at work another day, because everything around us is constantly speaking to us. And as creatives, above all, I think our purpose is to notice what there is and do something with it. That's the purpose of creativity. So I'm coming to you from a very rainy, drizzly Florence after a very hot summer, and I'm very fortunate to be in a design studio that I've created within an orangery where they used to store the lemons. It is based in the southern part of Florence, in the Oltrarno area, which is historically where all the artisans used to live and work. So in the main part of Florence, that's where the buzz was for the building, for all the Renaissance architecture, and before that the medieval things. But the southern side has remained authentic and original and less touristy, especially these last few years. You may hear all sorts of fabulous sounds, from church bells to vespers whizzing past, but I wanted to take you with me. Here we go. So my design studio is made up of a wall behind me, and I'm just going to show you down there. Lots and lots of shelves, because I'm a great collector of things. And it's like that. And it faces this incredible secret garden. So I'm going to take you on a tour on a drizzly day. So it's this amazing secret garden that very few people know about. And down there, I don't know if you can see, is the Bobbly Gardens and the Pitti Palace. So we're just very near that. And this is one of the entrances behind me, as you can see. It has this wonderful rendition of textiles and fabrics and ribboning and cornucopia and the idea of abundance. And let me keep walking you round so you get a sense of it. I think everything is super thirsty. I don't know if you get a sense of the whole orangery. So this is from 1801. It's the first English garden in Florence, which makes me laugh, because as you can tell from my English accent, you would presume I am English, but actually I'm from Florence. I originate here from a Florentine family that has actually been making hand-making fireworks since 1869. So I'm going to show you what that's all about. Plug in here. I have raindrops on my computer. Magic. It's like watercolors. Let me show you. I wonder if you can see that. I don't think you can. Let me just check if you can see that. I don't know that you can. I might need some backup. Let's see. I don't think you can see what I'm seeing. But if I can have some backup from the brilliant Yannick to work out how I now, because I unplugged it, I now show you some calligraphy. Let's see. In the meantime, while he's letting me know how I might be able to see you again, because the calligraphy camera is not working. Oh, maybe it is. Let's have a look. Can you see that? And, oh, yes. I wonder if you can see that now. Yay! I think you can. Can you? I love technology. I'm all about inks and paper. And of course, the whole technology thing is what's troubling us. Let's have a look. Whoops. Nope. It's not showing on OBS because I had unplugged it to go around. So now, if I take you back to me, I'm not quite sure how I can do that. In the meantime, I'll talk to you about my book. in my book, the first few pages talk about my historical family, my heritage, the fact that I come from a Florentine family that has been hand-making fireworks since 1869. So the beauty of that is that it's a raw material, that it's a black raw material, and in the darkness it becomes life. It's given life by darkness. So you get your hands dirty, you're not quite sure what's going to happen, and then the night gets illuminated and there's wonder. That's the reason why my family makes fireworks still to this day, is the wonder of it all. And I feel I do the same, being a calligrapher and a graphic designer. So I've learned about typefaces, I've studied the shape of things and traditional calligraphy, but then I've unraveled into much more of a modern calligrapher. So let's see, not quite sure how I get to show you what I do. I might have to, let's see. Okay, I'm back. And paper and ink. Oh yes, my friends rather than technology. All right, let's go for it. Where was I? I was talking to you about fireworks and inkiness. And this is my book Inspired, which came out a few years ago, and it's being translated into about 10 languages. And the purpose of this book for me, as a calligrapher and a designer, was absolutely not to show you how it should be, but how it can be. The whole purpose of a book about inspiring you to write, to come back to the love of writing, is to try and access how it makes you feel. So I'm often asked which tools to use. You know, should I use really expensive pens? You know, I have a wonderful big Meisterstück. Surely I can do magic with it. And I'm all about the lowly pencil to start with. The magic is not in the tool, the magic is in our hands. And I want to show you how quickly I write. And I may just put some of myself here, my curls, because how we write is absolutely a reflection of who we are. Here's David with his curls here in Florence. And one of the beautiful aspects that I have of being in Florence, having lived in London for many years to look at the graphic design, the shape of things, is the beauty of being here in Florence. Here it is that I get to see art up close and to also find out a lot more about aspects of art and creativity. One of the Medici mottos here in Florence was festina lente, which means to make haste slowly. So the fact that this is how I write, very fast, let me show you. I write very fast. And I swoosh a lot because it reflects me, and I love, love, love getting ink all over me. It's a beautiful mess. It's that idea of imperfection, which has gone against the grain until now. But imperfection is the way forwards, because that's where the magic is. That's where imperfections and mistakes are where we find out that we are not computers. Everything is hand generated. This is the beauty of being well, I like to call myself and my family that makes fireworks, artisans. That things come from head, heart, hand. It flows through us. So let me see if I can show you. So the idea that we have thoughts, that we speak words, all of that is invisible. It's just out there. And the only way that it can become real is to capture it. And one of the ancient heritage since the very beginning of time ways has been through this, has been through writing, through storytelling. Writing is a visual storytelling. It's how we portray and express who we are and how we are. And from the moment that we're a child and it's abstract until the developmental stage of making sense of it all. And then I love the idea that if you're an artist or a creative, you have to how do you say that? You tear that apart. You get back to understanding how all those different elements can maybe be thought of differently and made into something else. So my challenge has always been with telling people that I'm a calligrapher and a designer, that everyone's like, oh, my writing is terrible. And a lot of the time, writing has always remained as it was at school. We learnt it and we've kept it. And I'm always on a mission to try and show people that you can actually develop your writing, because it's an external extension of who you are. So if we were going to do a very simple handwriting, here we go. I work with businesses, companies, individuals, fashion people, all sorts of entrepreneurs, to try and create an evolution in how we've been until now and where we can go forwards. So, handwriting. In calligraphy, anything that you add to a word like this is called a flourish. So we're going to start flourishing these letters. And if possible, we could put lots of splashes, because this is a moment in time. This is how it's captured. This is where everything can happen. There are opportunities. I love the idea that when we write, it's all about filling space. Literally, like my fireworks family. You're filling space. You're filling a nocturnal space if it's black on white on black, or the other way around. But when we write and we try and fill a space, let's remember to notice the spaces that we leave out. They're just as important. Do you know what they are? They are the pauses in between words. Let me try and do the idea that words fill space. There we go. And the pauses are just as important. Everything that happens in between. And it's the same as speaking. It's the whole idea of listening. We underestimate the value of visual listening as well as speaking. When someone speaks to us, that pause of us taking something in is as important as us vomiting things out, as letting things out. This idea of listening. And my premise of being a graphic designer when I write is to try and see, as I'm writing, what might come as an opportunity. So it's only through knowing there's a T in the middle of listening and a G at the end of it that I can make the G cross the T. And that's just experience, of course, and it's a joy for me to do, because above all, I think that's what calligraphy can do. It excites that wonder, just like fireworks. It excites the ability that has come to life. My whole ethos of when I work is that I love bringing writing above all to life, because writing is speaking. It's the same as having a wonderful soliloquy like I'm having and just seeing where that can take us. They're all opportunities. I'm developing some products. I have some pencils which I love, which talk about, as above so below, and as within so without. So it is the most innate part of us that we think and we speak and we write. That all comes out. And I'm doing some pencils and rubbers, and of course make more mistakes, can you tell? Because then you'll have more fun rubbing them out. But also notice them, see them, embrace them, see how it's just a joy to look at wording again. Here I've worked with an artisan in Florence to put some calligraphy onto marble, and I love the softness and the flow of the writing and inky hands that made it. I don't use any technological Procreate kind of programs. I love ink. I scan, I position, I do my design work with them. And then this that sits on something very tough and hardy like marble is another one I'll just want to show you. Just because this bringing writing to life, I just want to show you it can take other forms. It can look different. This is about getting. This is to get, and then you forget. And playing with words. I love, love, love playing with words. So I wanted to show you. Here we go. Some more of my design studio, because I think if there's a physicality to everything, that'll be better understood. So I have lots of, I guess they're like candy jars, you know, they're sweet jars full of inks and pens. They've always been my love. And I've heard that so many people are stationery addicts and stationery love, because they remind us of being children when we first learnt to write and hopefully do artistic projects and then homework. But it's always that thing that we have something between our hands, you know, the sound, it's not an ephemeral, deletable message unless you really physically scrunch it up and tear it up. You still have something in your hands, which is incredibly precious, and that's why we send cards and wishes. And nowadays it's a WhatsApp and we lose it. But if you have shelves where you can keep written thoughts and wishes and words, their energy that someone has given it time and effort and has thought of you to commit something to paper and has sent it to you, and maybe you can keep it. And I love doing everything a little bit color coded. So I don't know if you can see all the way down into my studio how that sits. I know there's a lot going on but it is a Medici wall. And so I love the idea that Cosimo de' Medici is behind me with his history and heritage, and this is what I see outside. That's the inspiration that I get all the time. And that's creativity. But creativity can come from anywhere and anyone. It's about us noticing it from the inside, from our eyes that are inwards, and we look outwards, and then we take it in. Being in a garden, I notice every day if a leaf has fallen, or if a new flower has sprouted, or if a rose has gone even higher. And that's what brings me joy, and that's what inspires me. When people ask, what is inspiration? How do you create so much? I think it's just keeping everything going and noticing and sharing. And I think collaborating is also an amazing way. I wanted to show you another way. Ooh, I wonder if I do that. Hold on. I'll turn you around. Here we go. I wonder if you can see that. I can get all the way over here. Let's see. Here we go. You're in my design studio with me. Thank you for that. Okay. I wonder if you can see. I'm going to write. A really brilliant way to shake up how we've always done things is to change. So normally we're at a desk, we sit, physically sit and we write, and it reminds us of homework or work or to-do lists. But if you put a piece of paper up, it can be white, or if you can write directly on windows, everything changes. The physicality changes. You're suddenly standing up, you're not sitting, you're at heart level, at the same level. And here, you can be wishing the day away, or whooshing the day away. I don't know if you can see that. Bring it closer to you. You can wish as much as you want and whoosh because it's a different mindset. And I think creating is all about how you approach things. I'm going to show you a little bit more. I wonder if I can see you. Look, I'm on a phone as well as inky hands. I believe both are good. I wanted to see if I could see some questions. Let me show you some more layouts from my book and see what you think. I've written on walls. I'll show you. Okay. I've written on walls. We have part of being creative means that you never stop. We have, between my partner and I, we have 3 boutique hotels here in Florence, and I love writing on walls. And my husband has been brilliant at making every room look and feel different, and just keeps the interest going. It's not standardized. It's not a computer that's done it. It's not even an architect that's done it. It's been us. We've wanted to create and keep creating beyond paper, beyond what we know how to do. So I've written sometimes on the wall. Here there was a gold frame that fell, and so I patched it up, and it was all about being broken-hearted. But my book also shows how there are lots and lots of different ways of doing the same letters. We were only taught to do them in a certain way, and we have that within us. But and I have to say, I just wanted to show you because for me, it's my alphabeti, because of course that's my name. And so I've made it my own, but I like to share that. I like to show people that there are other ways to be, other ways of writing and developing. It's such an incredible release to actually write differently. Here we go. And just like a fireworks at night, I would totally suggest to try some black paper. I have oodles of things here, but I wanted to show you. Black paper is so good to write on. Here you go, you've got the blackness of a starry night. Are the stars just pinholes in the curtain of light, we ask? And always have stars to sprinkle around in your life if you can. Makes everything much better, especially if you're going to do a to-do list or a shopping list. Have fun with that. Writing is incredibly uplifting in so many ways. I love using materials to write on, about bringing to life words. Words have wings. Of course, there's sort of your traditional stationery. I collaborate with some fantastic printers in London and Florence, and print finishes are so divine. Everyone loves having cards in their lives. But also you can write on so many other things. I love writing on bottles. Why do we write on cards? Just a birthday wish sometimes. You can also write directly on a bottle and just get people to think and look at different things and appreciate things in a different way. Oh yes, this one's a good one. Also because apart from fruit, which I love to write on. How about some lipstick? You know, that used to be a way to do things on the mirrors. I also love writing with things like coffee, because then you get the fragrance of words that can come to life with different senses and not just flat ways of doing things. Also, I love the idea of how writing is speaking and how we write big if we're shouting. We're going to write really big. You can shout on the page. And if you're whispering, I wonder if you can see it. I'm going to do a very small whisper. A whisper. And we can use writing in different ways. It doesn't always have to be scholastic between the lines. The whole notion here is to mess it up, make a mess, make a beautiful mess, and see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen when I write like this. When people ask me, how do you write as you write, and why do you write so fast? A lot of it is instinctive, and within that means there's experience. And there's a really important aspect, which is letting go, which is the hardest part to do, because of course in our society we're all about control. What has this past year taught us? We don't have any. It's out of our hands, literally. So why can't they be inky hands? And so if we can't control it, then let's play with it. Let me find you some more paper. Oh, I love this one. I think playfulness, which disguises deep, dark meanings, purpose, and all the rest of it, is really important, because the light-heartedness of writing disguises the fact that I could probably burst into tears right now, because some things are very emotional when we read them back, they play back to us. Literally, they play back to us because we've written them, because we've processed them, and we've put them into writing. And the important part here of the writing is actually this, the handwriting, because we write more than ever, we type more than ever, but that's not really writing, that's not heart writing, that's just getting things done. But when things flow through our hands, they are the most amazing release and relief. So, I don't know if that's exciting for you, if I've shown you the joy of a soliloquy, firstly. Come to Florence, that's all I can say, but take your writing with you, your writing development with you. Play, have a go, try something else, write bigger, write smaller. The whole notion of journaling these last few years has been because we need to let go. We need to let go of things that oppress us, that depress us, and the letting go aspect is because we externalize, we express, which is what creativity is all about. And so I urge you to get a selection of pens. They don't have to be expensive, they just have to be what you love. The more you love, the more you do things with passion, the more that passion has a ripple effect, and more than anything, the more you feel better about what you're doing. So yeah, let's see where creativity can take us all. We have so much. I've learned in the last few years that no one really starts out wanting to become a creative, even though you may be talented when you're young. You don't really start out being creative. You're meant to become something more businessy, I guess. Businesses and creativity need to join hands a lot more, need to join into hands, because empathy, fearlessness, joyfulness, all these aspects of creativity are what's needed in a lot of businesses that are really stripped, that are soulless, that have become soulless for so many reasons. And what I'm most fervent about right now is to give creativity far more value, because it's not about the cost of something or the price of something, it's the value on so many levels that we can give to creativity. From Firenze, it's ciao, grazie!